So good afternoon, everyone. This is the the December 15th City Events and Recognitions Committee. And Chair Johnston, when you're ready to take it away.
Perfect. Thank you, Paula.
You're welcome.
I would like to acknowledge that we rest on the traditional homelands of the Puyallup people, where they make their homes and speak the Lushootseed language. And I would like to ask for a motion to approve the agenda for today's meeting.
I'll motion. This is Alex.
Thank you, Alex. Do I have a second?
I'll second. This is Hillary.
Thank you, Hillary. All right. Is there any discussion on the topic? Perfect. And can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from last meeting?
I'll motion to approve the meeting minutes. Cecily Krosky.
Thank you, Cecily. Do I have a second?
I'll second. This is Alex.
Thank you, Alex. And is there any discussion on the meeting minutes?
I have a discussion point.
Yes.
I put the wrong date on at the top of the page.
I was gonna say that, but
And for the second of the first motion, was that Rosie?
the second for the first motion was
Oh,
Hillary.
it's Hillary, sorry. I can't do two things at once, you guys. Swear to God. That's why I like recording these. Okay. All right. Now.
Chair comments. So
Oh,
Hillary.
wait.
Oh, sorry.
Call for a vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do I have a vote?
What did I put in the thing? I said,
A
seeing
vote?
there's no discussion, but one change. Ask for a revision to the motion. So
May I have a revision to the motion as we are changing the date of the meeting minutes.
I motion. This is Rosie.
Thank you, Rosie. Do I have a second?
I'll second Cecily.
Thank you, Cecily.
And then now you can ask for the vote on the
And now-
full two motions.
Yes. May I have a vote to approve, including the motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? Excellent. Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Hillary, I would like to apologize because we realized that we were emailing a different Hillary.
I got one chain at one point, so I feel bad for her. She sounds like that happens a lot.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. But thank you, and we apologize for that. All right, so other than that, really my comments want to go to the Martin Luther King updates. That's really where our focus is right now and the things that are going on. We did a lot of filming over the last couple weeks, which are beautiful. We recently got back the drafts from the filming. And thank you to everyone that was able to make it. Cecily, thank you for coming out on a rainy day with all of the lovely children. But the footage is great. So I'm really looking forward to this. We will be doing further filming this Sunday. If any of the board members committee members would like to come and join, we'll be filming between 11 and 1 at Courthouse Square on Sunday. So if you are interested, please just shoot me an email or a text and let me know. All right, so on to,
December 19th,
sorry, December 19th,
11 to 1
correct.
at Courthouse Square. Awesome. Thank you.
Perfect. And this would just be part of the Hope and Healing segments. So that's all you would be asked to record. All right, so staff updates. Is there staff?
You know what? I'm going to look at my email real quick because Gerald had to take his wife to an appointment, and I think that we're not going to see Tammy because she's packing to go to Mexico tomorrow.
Okay.
But let me look at my email real quick because I think he sent an update.
The one thing that I would say for Gerald, and I need to still fill out my form, is to make sure that we've gotten him our photos and our bios so that he can start putting those up on social media. Also, he just posted a beautiful image on Instagram about the Martin Luther King celebration. So if people want to share that, that would be amazing. And then if you have any extra photos of, you know, city events or things that might be you know, worthwhile posting and sharing on social media, just, I feel like, Kala, we can send those directly to Gerald, correct?
You can either send them directly to him and CC me,
Okay.
or you can send them to me either way. Yeah.
I
So-
believe, Hillary, you had mentioned you might have had photos from something you attended.
Yeah, I took quite a few at Halloween on the Hill in particular, and then I have some others.
Yeah,
All right.
I think that'd be great just to give him more content to work with.
So here's his report.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'll share his report. I'll
Because
stop.
one of the questions that I was wondering about that before we jump actually was like if there is just a quick way to get photos. So if we ever are at an event that we can get them in a more timely manner turned around, or I don't know if that's of interest at all, but
I think that we would probably want to ask Gerald that directly. I see what you're saying. I don't know, like, if it's a Sunday afternoon, if he's going to be
yeah.
posting. But I think that's something we can definitely bring up to him, you know, at our next meeting, or shoot him an email to clarify. One thing I like, and Kala, I don't know if we can do this, but the Google shared drive that we were doing for the behind the scenes of the MLK shoots, I think that's lovely. Like, is that something we could start for this group?
I think if you want to do stuff that isn't that part of the public meeting, that isn't something that you would be voting on as a committee, that, you know, I would encourage you to do that. I'm not allowed to create something that's just for the committee.
Okay.
It can be for a subcommittee. So say, for instance, we want the social media subcommittee to review photos before Gerald does anything with them. So Hillary, Alex, and Rosie, I think you guys are on the communications subcommittee. Hillary, are you?
I'll see what I got put on. I remember we were emailing last month just before the meeting
Yeah.
about which ones, and I
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
didn't see any. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll pull those up again. Well, they're on the agenda, so we can talk about that. But so we wanted to set up a social media kind of chit chat with Gerald. And so these are some of the things that he reported on. So social media promotion for City of Destinies was posted since last meeting. He's going to promote the SurveyMonkey forms for the City of Destiny Awards nominations. I have one so far, so I would probably need to do an additional push, and hopefully you guys will get those posts and then share them to all your different organizations and friends and family on Facebook and Instagram. Let's see that we did a news release today and that went out on social media as well, on Facebook and Instagram. So those are the links. I can go ahead and include all of this in the minutes, or I can forward it to you first, because sometimes it takes me a while to get the minutes, as you know. And then there's an updated page on the city's website, and then he thinks it would help to post, and maybe it's an abbreviated version of the last MLK celebration. So we can talk with him about that. And Cecily has her hand raised.
Thanks so much. Just really quick, I'm wondering if you're able to copy and paste that link for the forms that the members need to fill out. I am one of those members. And if I can open it up on the screen.
Oh,
I'll knock
okay.
right after this.
Sorry.
Right after our meeting. I know I need to send in a headshot, I think, and fill out this form. So
Gotcha.
thank you.
So you're the one that I keep thinking it's someone else, but you're on the communications committee, right? Is that what you're talking about?
She's talking about the member spotlight.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I'm
don't know
sorry.
the committee. I think I may have, I don't know if what subcommittee I'm serving on. I don't think I've seen that yet.
Okay, so here's the Airtable thing. So let me give you that right now.
Thank you.
Look at, he puts laugh out loud.
Mhm.
And I want to put that in the chat. And there it is.
Thank you.
Really easy. It's very short. It's short and sweet.
Oh, good, Alex. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Oh, definitely not.
Miller, me too. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. And that's it from Gerald.
Perfect.
Okay. And then I will go to, oops. Share. Oops. I lost my window. Sorry about that. Okay.
All right.
So
So subcommittees report out.
I was going to talk about
Sorry.
city line appearance and the recruitment schedule. So I already have the draft of question and answers, and I'm going to send that to Cecily and Jessica so that you can look at it, and it's for MLK, and maybe talk amongst yourselves a little bit. I have to get it back to Fred by the 29th. So there's plenty of time. And then you would be recorded for City Line the following Wednesday, right? So that's like first, second, third, yeah, the 5th of January. And since it's Zoom recorded, you can record from anywhere. So
And Callie, you said you would be sending us the questions.
yeah, because I want your feedback, because
Okay.
you've been so there, and maybe you, and then you guys can decide which questions each of you would answer. And it's like 8 to 10 questions that Amanda likes. And then she maybe comes up with 1 or 2 of her own.
Mhm.
So, okay.
Sounds good.
All right. And then, yep, I just did that. So recruitment schedule. So it does look like we're going to be doing a push from, I think they do it for 2 weeks. And if we don't get enough applications for the open seats, we have 7 members and we have 5 open seats again. So, and Chris he wanted to join us, and he apologizes profusely for not being here and being present, but his term is up at the end of June. So I can't believe we're talking about 2022, and it's really messing with my head. So we'll probably have to fill his position. We'll just roll him off the committee, and he's expecting that. So
What is the policy on the recruitment? Are we allowed to recruit people ourselves?
absolutely, you should.
I've done it once before, I believe.
I think you did. Yeah, so they just have to make sure that when they're filling out that form, that they, because they get really disappointed then we have to tell them that they can't interview for the committee because they live outside of the city limits, like it can't be Spanaway or Parkland. And that's happened not too long ago, in fact, so.
Yeah.
And there's a little map that you guys probably all used to make, maybe if you absolutely were certain that you're in the city, but if you're not sure, like you live at the south end and it's one of those sections that's outside of that little weird, bare city limits.
Mhm.
And it's good to go in and check to see which place, what councilmanic district you're sitting in. So Chris he's an at-large position, and then we have one other at-large position. Oh, no, that's not true. We have 3 other at-large positions. So it will be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then district number 2.
Will these be added to our meeting minutes? And then also, can you include the map?
I can, and I will do. Let's see. I'll send you the link to the city's the CBC recruitment page that you guys all used. Link and what seats are now open or will be are going to open. Okay.
Kala, and is at large number 2 really open? Because isn't that Cecily?
No.
Oh.
You're right. This is wrong. Cecily, I'm sorry, I forgot. Okay.
I have a question. Can I ask it now?
Jessica.
Yes.
Of course.
Sorry, I was waiting till you were done typing.
Oh, no, don't wait for that.
Okay. Yes, Alex.
So I think I expressed this at some point, but when I first came on, I was living in District 1, but now I am actually living in District 2. So I don't know if that matters, but that's
Yes,
a thing.
it actually does, because you're not an at-large position. So we would change it to District 1, okay?
Well, I'm no longer in District 1.
Yeah, so we'll change what's available. Alex has moved. And then what we do at those interviews is you guys aren't in the room when we have this discussion, but Doris will say, okay, so now we have someone that's moved and they're now in District 2. So that means District 1 is available. And we would like to reinstate Alex Domini to, am I saying that right, Domini?
Yep.
To District 1. Right? And they will say, of course.
No, I moved to District 2. I'm
Oh, I'm sorry. So now.
no, that's okay. I know. It's weird.
Thank you.
Kala, just because I'm curious, what happens if people are in the same district?
Then we
We'll move
would
on.
assign, then they would, I don't make the decisions, the Economic Development Committee does. They would recommend that the second person be an at-large position. So.
All right.
Okay.
Did anyone have any more questions on these topics? So on to subcommittees. The member handbook review and revision. Kala, I feel like that's been you and I so far,
Mhm.
which has gotten kind of pushed back a little bit just because of how busy we've all been.
Yeah, MLK takes up a lot of time, as you now know. But we do have a cheat sheet for rules of order,
Yes.
and Jennifer's going to send us her version. She's got lots of years. And then if anybody else wants to review the member handbook as it is, and the rules and procedures as they are, take over for Chris. Jessica
You
and I
know-
would welcome that.
We would welcome that. Do you know if Chris has any desire to
Reapply.
notes on that before he goes?
I might even have some of his notes, but look for Chris's notes. And Stephanie, who surprisingly is not here today. Let's see, is anybody in the waiting room? No. Okay. Okay.
Excellent.
Excellent. Excellent.
And fundraising, also something that needs to be focused upon.
Mhm.
Do you know, Cal, for fundraising, are we going to be allowed to do anything that's in person?
Jennifer, she is the expert on fundraising programs. Are you there?
Yep, I am.
Do you know?
What was the question again? Sorry.
Are we going to be allowed to do in-person fundraising, or do we need to be really focusing on more virtual fundraising options?
That's a really good question because I don't have a crystal ball. I guess it depends on what kinds of fundraising things you're thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me what you're thinking, like fundraising events or?
That was more or less what I was thinking, but that, I mean, it doesn't have to be that way, and nothing like huge, you know, like definitely community volunteered types of smaller events. But I'm just
Sure.
wondering, when we're all thinking and, you know, going through our minds of options and opportunity, you know, are there guidelines still with COVID?
No, I mean, well, yes and no. I mean, of course, there are still guidelines, but we could be meeting in person now for smaller events, even for fairly large events. Just like, you know, the things you do in Courthouse Square, you know, there's right now, there's not a lot of restrictions in Pierce County. You know, certainly masks and those kinds of things, but you can definitely have gatherings at this point.
Perfect.
And do you know the restriction on the number of people inside?
It's big.
Is it 1,000?
It's something like that. Yeah. I remember the number wasn't a number that made me have to think about it. In my world, my biggest issues are big events and places having the staff to accommodate it, not the restrictions. That's more of an issue right now, you know, but I'm talking about things like, you know, big sit down dinners for 600 and stuff like that, right? Like I could have that, but I don't know that I could serve that. So
Yeah, because I know the smaller events like at Courthouse, there's not really restrictions. It's kind of building policy, like venue policy, as far as if we want to be, you know, having only vaccinated members come and things of that nature.
yes, and that's the same with any event up to like 400 or 500 people. So
Okay. Because that kind of brings me to exploring the new event possibilities, just because I would love to have an idea of some things that we want to do so that we can plan the fundraising around anything that we're trying to create, if that makes sense.
mhm.
it would just be nice to have a list so that maybe we could have a big fundraiser. I'm sure we could do something at courthouse in the gallery and, you know, have a meet and greet even, and just let people know that these are the new things that we're trying to bring to the table, and go from there. Kala, is there a timeline of when we need certain funds to be raised per event?
Not really, because we already have MLK and City of Destiny Ward funds secured now, with the council voting on budget and approving it. Mid-biennium budget is what I meant to say. And we do have a place for fundraising in the CERC budget. So I think it's up to 15,000 or something like that, or 17,000. So if you had the ability to raise that many funds, it's already appropriated in a revenue budget location.
Okay.
So raise that.
I have a question on that, actually. Is there a maximum amount the committee could raise for fundraising?
Is there a maximum amount? Are you
Mhm.
asking me that question?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying, is that I know for
17.
sure that if you raise between 15 and 17,000 in 2022, that money can be used for CERC activities, for, you know, new events, or for increasing the budgets for the 2 events that you already are responsible for. So yeah, there's a cap. And I don't want to make it I don't want to make it sound like, well, don't accept fundraising, dollars from someone just because you have a cap. But honestly, it'll just go into the general fund for anyone to use. And I don't want that to be on your shoulders. I don't want you to waste energy, raising funds that you can't use just because our budget process is so weird.
Because
Right.
it won't roll over into the next year.
Not really, no. And the city council only reviews the budget at very specific times. And so they voted on a mid-biennium adjustment for certain things. They reviewed it in November. I think they have 3 meetings. I mean, I have to review it. It has come before them 3 times, right? And then the last date, which was probably yesterday, then they vote on it and approve it.
Okay.
I might be wrong. No, I think I'm right. I think it was yesterday, because yesterday was the 14th. And I knew it was mid-December.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's kind of set in stone for 2022, which is good. Yeah.
If we can kind of move on to exploring new event possibilities, I really can't, now that we have done the community conversation recordings for the MLK segments, I can't get Hillary's idea about creating more conversations out of my head. And I think that there's definitely a place for that with the community that would appreciate maybe different topics. I don't know if it's a quarterly thing that we do or if it's an annual event that we have, but I really, really want to explore that because I feel like it's needed right now. It really was healing for people to get to come out, meet together, and discuss their feelings of this last year. So I would love to have us be facilitating that in the future. Hillary, do you have any more thoughts or ideas on that?
You mean in terms of just growing that conversation into an event of its own?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily off the top of my head, but
Sure. And I don't mean to put you on the spot at all. I just really wanted to let you know that I feel like from our last conversations that I would love to explore that and obviously hear what anybody else, feels. But I think it's needed and worthy of planning.
yeah, I think my biggest thought is just that unless you're part of an organization or some space that does that already, like you're not getting it. And so to think about it as a city would be unique and cool.
I agree.
And since I just have a thought here, and since you are the Events and Recognitions Committee, would you be interested in utilizing those community conversations, just that working title, to recognize other volunteers, maybe other people on other committees and boards and commissions at the city of Tacoma? Just a thought, like one person a quarter or something like that.
Perhaps having them lead the conversations, or maybe
Mhm.
work with them to create the topic of conversation.
Mhm.
That would actually be really cool, because then you could recognize the organizations that are already doing it,
Mhm.
instead of like it becoming the cities. Like I know Cecily with Peace Community Center, you all do so much for the community in different ways. So if you did go with the quarterly idea, then organizations that are already doing that could have a boost and like a support from us to really build them up to just even take that over, but simultaneously be recognized by the city for doing that and expanding their own base.
Yeah, I agree. I think a couple of orgs that come to mind is also the Hilltop Action Coalition.
Oh, yeah.
And also there's a new thing, and I'm not really familiar with them, but I keep seeing it pop up on my social media. And I think it's called Tacoma Conversations or something like that. And so they dive pretty deep into different topics that, are either happening in and around the city or beyond. And they create a space for people to really just kind of voice their thoughts, concerns, feelings, or different ideas on how to pull people together. So it might be a great idea to use it as an opportunity to create a platform where we bring, like you all said, some of those orgs that are already doing that work in, and us just maybe facilitating the space.
Yeah, the other group is Latinx Unidos South Sound. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly, but they're on the east side and represent the Latinx community. And there's one other group on the south side, and I can't remember what they're called. They wanted to hold a parade down Portland Avenue, asked me half a week before the day that they wanted to have it in October. And October is sort of like the month. It's like mid-October to mid-November, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that is like Latinx Recognition Month. So
would it be
those are
possible,
great
Paula,
ideas.
and I don't know with the holidays if people have time right now to do this, but to have just exploring new events possibility kind of meeting, like a sub meeting,
Mhm.
just so we could chat further about this?
I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
I do not want to be the head of such subcommittee, but I would love to participate.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Well, I don't know the processes for being the head, but on initial thought, I'll at least put my name out there.
And is anybody interested in actively participating as opposed to providing input, because that's just as important, but actively participating with Jessica and Hillary on that subcommittee?
I'll join in on that subcommittee.
Cecily?
Yeah.
Notice how I always put your first names in my notes, and then when I get to the minutes, I have to transpose it into Ms. Krosky, Ms. Johnston. Cool.
Perfect. I love that idea.
Yeah, me too. And it's not an expensive prospect either. It's very doable.
And I definitely, because Cecily was saying it's kind of about the space, and I would be willing to make something happen here at Courthouse for that to gather.
I think that this can be really cool. I'm excited about this.
I am too, because I will tell you guys honestly, like getting to participate in the community conversations that we recorded for MLK were just, it was healing for me.
She was flying high, man.
Yeah.
She was high on life.
Yeah. It was
That's really
good.
cool.
It's lovely to get together with folks and
It's
talk
the
about.
feel-good committee of the city. It's all
We'll
stuff
take
that-
it.
Is that our tagline?
The feel-good committee of the city.
I like it.
I do too.
Let's roll with it.
Oh,
Oh
that's funny.
gosh. And here we go. So you want to move on, or are you
So,
still
yeah, so, we,
awardee? Oh, sorry, awardees.
yeah, for City of Destiny. So those, as you mentioned, went out. We have one. Did you say, Kala?
Yes, ma'am.
So is this just something we should start pushing out on social media? Like, how do we get?
Yep.
Yep.
So, and what we did last year that really was, I mean, we didn't have a ton of applications, or sorry, nominations, and everyone actually got an award that was nominated because they were all stellar.
For that, yeah.
But John Miller at TV Tacoma always reminds me that, you know, it's really only supposed to be like 9, because we have like 9 categories, Kala. I'm like, okay, talk to the committee.
And
Who
did-
wants to decide? So I put a question in here. This isn't the chat. This is my notes, that my comments in the agenda. Who would like to be on the selection panel this time? This is the most heartwarming task that you could possibly do. It's like MLK on steroids, because there's so many people. And you already have a bunch of nominations from MLK that are much more suitable for the City of Destiny Awards. So
That's
I
what
want
was gonna ask, and can you remind us, Kala, are those applications just rolling over? Do we have to have people resubmit?
well, what I need to do is I need to go out, now that we've made a public announcement of who was selected for the award. I need to communicate with each of those nominators. So what I think I'll do is I'll ask them just to provide which category they would suggest if they are interested in rolling them over. And then we will roll them over, but we will ask for additional information when we get to the real solid selection phase, which is going to be mid-February, or the week of February 7th. And then hopefully you'll be able to, the selection committee will meet, or the selection panel will meet, make decisions and make recommendations in the form of a slate of awardees, and then bring it to your February 16th special event meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
I will volunteer to be part of that selection process.
I'd also like to be a part of the selection process.
I can as well.
Hillary?
Yeah.
Okay. And Cecily. So Cecily can tell you what it was like. It's pretty fun. And Alex was on the selection panel for MLK too, so. Okay. That's about as much as we can have, because otherwise we'd have a quorum, because we're kind of small right now.
And communications, graphics, and news releases for nomination forms. Is that still talking about City of Destiny, I'm assuming?
No, this is the overall news releases, graphics, etc. So, so mostly what you'd be focusing on is the social media aspect of, you know, what you're doing, and really come up with a plan with Gerald to help build that and make it more robust. But like when I got new graphics for the City of Destiny Awards from our MCO group, our Media and Communications office, from the graphic designer, I sent that to Alex and to Jessica and I think that was it. I didn't send, Cecily, did I send anything to you? Probably not.
I don't think so.
Alex was all thumbs up. Jessica was thumbs up. So you're an alternate, Jessica, because otherwise
Okay.
we'd have a quorum.
Nope, that's fine.
Okay, so
are there any subcommittees that we do not have representation on? So those of us who may not be affiliated with one yet can figure out which direction we should go.
oh, like the description?
Well, not necessarily the description, because I do remember seeing those. I just mean, are there are there any committee members or any subcommittees that do not have committee members on them? Like the member handbook, I think.
That one's gonna need a couple of people.
And then I know I see them here. I'm just wondering who's a part of each one.
Okay.
That way I can just kind of see where there may be need.
Let's review that. Let's review that again. So fundraising is Jessica, see? And Rosie was, but she got,
Yeah,
yeah, I can't remember who else signed up for that.
I thought it was it Luis with us?
Well, yeah.
Well,
but he's not on.
I feel like it was so long ago.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I
know Rosie for sure.
And I don't know, Alex, were you interested in the fundraising one? I can't remember.
I remember signing up for communications, but
Yeah, okay. I'll go back and look at my notes.
I
Sorry.
think Cecily would be amazing at the fundraising.
I'm more than willing to help out with an additional one. I'm happy to help with fundraising and exploring new event possibilities.
Okay.
And then that'll answer my question, because really I just wanted to make sure that I knew where I was supposed to be.
You are where you're supposed to be. I love it. Okay. All right. Great.
Great.
Any other questions about the subcommittees? How often do you want to meet? That kind of thing. How do you want me to support it?
Even on that same note, I sent you based on like where I saw people that there might be need and the things that align to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm actually on though, so.
Okay. So let's see. I just have you on right now on this one, which is dedicated to the City of Destiny Awards, right?
Exploring new
And
events.
exploring new event possibilities, which I think is,
Okay.
that's fair.
Okay.
And then Rosie, I'm not sure where, other than the communications, do you have bandwidth for anything else?
At the moment, I do not.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought, because I remember us having that conversation after a meeting not too long ago, so.
So now that MLK Awards nominate, is the awardee selection, my participation in that subcommittee, is that over?
No, it doesn't have to be. I mean, if you want to review the nominations and, provide input, you can. Anybody can, actually. I can send the nominations to everybody, but when you get together and have the meeting to make the selection, I'd like it to be a non-quorum, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yep.
Sure.
That
Well, and
makes total
that's
sense.
because I don't think I was originally on that one. So Alex can also take my spot for the quorum situation if,
For the actual panel,
yeah.
You should do it. It's actually really lovely.
it is lovely.
I mean, I'll definitely do it. Just
Yeah, that's the heavy lifting, is when you
boot
guys.
you out of the panel.
No, it's okay. It's
Okay.
okay.
But everyone is welcome to give input, especially on the City of Destiny Awards, I think, because there's so many, there tend to be a lot of them. And so say, for instance, Hillary, you might not have time because maybe February isn't a good time for you to, have to have an extra meeting or something. But just for example, but it's great to get everybody's sort of nod to say, yes, this is an appropriate category for this person to be in, or no, it's not an appropriate category that was chosen. So I think we should put them in, like we did with Danny Patnode last year. We put him in environmental sustainability instead of lifetime service. So just that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be super in-depth if you're not going to be the ones making the selections and the decisions. And then like we did with what Stephanie did for the MLK award, she was the one who was presenting to the full committee. And I think you guys can decide who's going to be that person. We have a little time.
Can we, can we start doing these monthly? Can we wait though until January? Just because I feel like the holidays are going to
Oh
go.
yeah, they're just going to swallow us.
Okay.
Is anybody taking time off during the holidays that you wouldn't be available? You want to wait until after the first?
I mean, I would like to give people that opportunity, and I just feel like with MLK, we'll be semi wrapped up by the end of the year.
It'll all be on Fred's desk.
Right, correct. I just want to make sure people have enough time to be doing everything else they need to be doing,
Yep.
including myself. But
I
Gotcha.
think it makes sense to start at the top of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
perfect. Do we have any public with us, Kella?
Just Jennifer Durham.
Jennifer, do you have any comments?
I know, I don't know where I fit in. No, I don't really, except to say that, like Jessica said, the MLK program is looking really fantastic. And I think you're all going to be very proud of the work she has done on the committee's behalf. That's it.
And thank you, Cecily, and whomever else was able to participate and might be able to on Sunday. It's just really heartwarming to have you guys helping.
Mhm.
So, and I'm not sure if you understand how much Jessica has put into this, but I am going to ask you for your volunteer hours. If you can estimate like just a round number of hours, because I have to report that for the third quarter, but you don't have to worry about it until somebody asks me and says somebody from our payroll division has to ask. So,
Okay, that works.
okay.
And Jennifer, I still have your umbrellas.
Oh, that's right. No, no big deal.
They were so cute. We got so many great photos and videos of that, and the kids and Cecily on the bridge. Like it was a really nice day, even though it was
We're
for me.
very excited to see themselves. And we're very grateful for the umbrellas.
Yeah, I guess I was on a plane, so we landed from San Diego into Seattle, and it was like, bleh.
Yeah.
I'm glad those guys had umbrellas today.
Cecily, and I'm assuming you're okay with us. I shared some photos with Gerald to post, and like the kids and you are in them, like on social media of that.
Yes, that's fine. And if there's anything like a waiver or anything that needs to be filled out or consent form, you can shoot them to me in email, and I can make sure that their parents, do that piece of it.
Kella, that's actually
They're all okay with it.
Cecily asked. Is that something we need to do?
It doesn't hurt. I think I've got a release form that where we can ask. Well, he's leaving tomorrow. Let me ask Naomi Strom-Avila, because I know I've gotten one from her in the past. I might even have one in my folder. So I'll look into that.
Okay.
We're having an open discussion now, aren't we?
Jessica, what kind of support would you like on Sunday? I'd love to be able to come down, and then, and what times would you need that?
Yeah, so I have the first person who's showing up is actually Darrington Forbes. He's going to be here at about 10:45.
Okay.
Our actual filming time is between 11 and 1. I would love any assistance. We also have the Tacoma Sunday Market happening that day on the main level of Courthouse Square. So getting our people up and into the courtroom would be helpful.
Okay.
I can kind of text you where I'm at and when, but basically like 10:30 to 1:30.
Cool. Count me in.
Cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
Texted you as well, so.
Perfect. All right. Does anyone else have anything they would like to discuss with the committee?
I'm all good.
Good.
I think the next meeting is actually January. So the 17th, 18th, 19th. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because the first is on a Sunday. So it's going to be late in the month. That's the same week as MLK, which is a day off for most people. Do you want to hold that meeting still for January 19th?
I do.
Okay.
It makes me feel a little bit anxious that we don't all get to meet before that airs, but I guess pretty much what we've decided is already out in the universe.
Yeah. It is. Okay. If you have a need to, meet, I mean, if you're going to have you guys there, you want to talk about stuff, just don't make any decisions, because then it could be deemed a public meeting.
Okay.
Kind of like the city council can't attend, and create a quorum if they all have drinks together, they can't do that because it's automatically considered.
Like if they just go out on their own as friends. Wow. Good to know. So is that the
So
same?
if you see five
together,
if you see 5 city council members having drinks or coffee somewhere, you could actually ask them to call the meeting to order and say, "You guys are out, and I see a quorum." They're really careful about it, actually.
is that the same for us?
No, because you're a committee, you're not making policy decisions. So if you want to go out for drinks, feel free to go out for drinks, right? But if it's a meeting where you're making decisions, then that has to be either a special meeting or a rescheduled meeting, say, for instance. We used to do that for the annual retreat, where we would have, I'd have to do a notification for a public meeting, a special meeting that was held on a particular date. And it was usually a Saturday in a place where nobody was going to show up. Nobody ever shows up to these meetings. They're on the calendar.
All right. And items for future agendas.
I think I've got some stuff on here. So like the community
feel like-
conversations, Juneteenth, Refugee and Immigrant Day, the fundraising, looking into that, looking into the recruitment schedule. So it's kind of the usual suspects here.
Mhm.
And then of course, for the February agenda, we'll add voting for City of Destiny awardees.
Kala, is there, and I'm sorry if I missed this, but is there any way, and I know it's kind of in here, and I guess it'll be on the notes, just so we have like who is actually doing what in subcommittees?
Yeah, I'll do
Like
that.
Like a spreadsheet?
Yep.
Maybe, okay.
I'll update that spreadsheet because I know it's all changed, and I did record it in the meeting minutes from a few months ago or a couple of months ago, but we really focused on MLK at that time. So I want to
Right.
go back and refresh my memory as well.
Mhm.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Well, am I allowed to make a motion to adjourn?
You're allowed to make what is it called? Jennifer, help me. Announcement,
Request a motion to adjourn.
right? And then you don't have to vote on it. You
You
just have
actually
to
don't
have.
have to vote on adjournment.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? And thank you all.
Cecily motions to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Cecily.
Larry, I second.
Thank you, Hillary. All right. Well, our meeting is adjourned. And again, thank you all so much for all of your help. And I hope to see you guys on Sunday. If you have any questions, give me a call or text. And yeah, happy holidays.
Awesome.